Welcome back, Gore Fiends, to Descent into Horror Hell Part 2. I'm your man, Ghoul.
I'm Skid Gore.
And this week we got a little bit of gore for you, a little bit of classic. So let's get this started.
Just let it rip.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 6.
What's going on, horror fans? Welcome back to Descent into Horror Hell. We got some awesome horror goodies for you. A couple new sections
Yeah,
we're working on.
a little bit of gore today, as we aforementioned.
Oh, absolutely. This is one of my favorite new sections. It's called Gore Forever. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're each going to take turns doing a movie that has a lot of the red stuff, man. You know, doesn't really have to have plot. It helps if it does, but really it's all about the red stuff, man. It's all about
Blood flow.
total gore insanity. So let's do this. My pick for this section, "100 Tears."
Brutal, man. Brutal film.
Absolutely.
Killer clown. Can't go wrong. Big meat cleaver.
I'm going to talk a little bit about this film. This film was directed by Marcus Cook. He also did a lot of the effects. He's a very, very talented, up-and-coming director. We definitely will be talking more about this guy. And also, I will just mention this, Marcus Cook is also the guy that's doing this American Guinea Pig, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
wait.
Got the new one in the mail.
Yeah, it's coming on Monday. It'll be here Monday, and I cannot wait
What is
to
it,
watch
Banquet of Gore? Guts and Gore or something
Banquet
like
of
that,
Guts
yeah.
and Gore or something. Yeah, man, I can't wait. Everything I've heard has been amazing.
Yep, highly
So,
anticipated. I know
yeah.
Scott, what is it, Stephen Biro, I think?
Jim Van Beber.
Yeah.
I can't wait, man. This is going to be great. But the film I'm talking about now is 100 Tears. And basically, I'll give you a little bit of the story. I'm not going to go too much into it. But after being accused of crimes he didn't commit, there's this lonely circus performer, who takes revenge on those who accused him in the most brutal ways, pretty much.
Yeah, and very good effects. I mean, it's not the cheesy, I mean, when he goes out and kills somebody, it's really good splatter gore, but it looks real. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's definitely one of the more talked about films I know among any social media groups. I know I hear this name come up a lot. So
yeah,
tells
it's
you
really,
something.
really amazing film, amazing effects, really good story too for this type of film. Kind of a revenge story in a way, but with it's got a twist ending too that really will really make you think,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this killer clown, man, I forget his name offhand. I'm sorry, but he's got this huge ass meat cleaver, which would make this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
there's
obsolete.
no comparison, man, to this guy's
Yeah.
meat cleaver. Limbs are hacked off, evisceration.
And really,
This film, it's one of those films you watch with friends, and just kind of have a high five and cheers some beers, and just watch the red stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the type of movie you watch with a fucking raincoat, Sit in front of the screen with a raincoat, because you're going to get wet with the gore. So, yeah, this is my pick for the Gore Forever section. Check it out. Marcus Cook, 100 Tears. Go, what you got?
I got a classic of sorts, Peter Jackson's Dead Alive. We all know this film as far as being one of the more over-the-top practical effect films. was this 90 or 91?
94.
94. A little early there, but
New Zealand.
I remember the first time when I saw this film, it was so
Balls
you
out
get,
gore, man.
Yeah, you get the the uncle that comes in, tries to steal the house. And I mean, it was actually a cool story. Grandma gets bitten by the monkey, and it kind of
subterranean rat monkey.
I mean, it had this whole, all of a sudden, this downfall. But I think the weirdest part, and I was young when I saw this film, was at the end of the film when Grandma becomes, Godzilla Grandma.
Nobody will ever love you like your mother.
With the big flaming titties, I mean...
and the big ass.
Just unbelievable. It was such a Godzilla moment. It was so good, but I mean, the kills in this are unbelievably believable. I mean, the anatomy alone was cool. I mean, yeah, there's some. It is kind of that comedy, side to it, but definitely gory. And I always thought the coolest scene to me was when they're trying to help him through the pantry window. And they're pulling him through, and the zombies are pulling. All of a sudden, they pull him through, and all of a sudden, he gets skeleton legs.
Yeah, dude.
I thought that was so cool.
Amazing effects.
Amazing
effects.
The chick, the light bulb, she gets backed into it right to the back of her head, and it lights her up.
One of my favorite scenes is probably, the gnome. The underpants gnome, or the guy in the gnome.
He stabs in the guy and starts running around in the gnome.
That's some awesome shit.
Yeah, and the priest. I mean, classic.
I kick ass for the Lord.
It's brutal. I mean, the rib cage getting ripped out. I always thought the biker guy, when he gets cut in half and shit, and he's walking around and keeps getting his like, what do you call it, his ass tube or whatever, keeps farting all the time. I mean, he never dies, and I always thought that movie was like, when the hell's that guy gonna die? And
that's right.
I mean, buckets and buckets of blood, especially the ending. I think everybody talks about that. The infamous, lawnmower scene.
Yeah.
Hacking.
You go on any gore site or YouTube, any gore moments.
It's there.
Dead Alive is usually definitely on top, and it should be, man, because it really, you got a lot of red stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
That's another Raincoat movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even the story
Amazing
was
effects.
good. It's kind of a really sick, twisted love story.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. He's trying to win the, what the hell's her name?
Paquita.
Paquita, yeah. And he's trying to win her affection, but he's got to try to hide this secret of, he's got these deadbeat zombies living in his basement, and it's a sick, twisted comedy love story.
Don't forget the killer fucking zombie baby too, man.
That thing annoyed the hell out of me watching that. This big ass buck teeth, Cabbage Patch looking baby, yeah.
Peter Jackson was just
great.
If people know him more from the Lord of the Rings trilogy and whatnot, that's great. But really, you got to look at his old horror films. Meet the Feebles, Dead Alive, definitely Bad Taste.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was. I mean, he was just as good then as he is now, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
So, check him out.
Choice. I mean, like I said, most people have probably seen this, but if you haven't, you're missing out. Check it out.
Gore Forever section.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Welcome back, horror fans. We're gonna talk a little bit about new gore versus old gore, practical effects versus computer graphics. However you want to put it. I guess there's a fan for everything. People like the practical. There's some people that like the Tokyo Gore Police type effect where it's way over the top and you can definitely tell it's computer generated. But we're going to kind of talk about, again, the old school versus the new school. I'm going to really talk about one that we all know, Herschel Gordon Lewis's Blood Feast. Probably...
That's where it all started, man.
1963. Yeah. When this came out, you talk about shock.
Oh my God.
Holy Christ.
People were fucking horrified, man.
Yeah.
Theaters were closed down.
Yep.
Oh man.
It's definitely the first of its kind. We talk about one of the few colored films I mean, it's one thing to do, if you were to do this in black and white, you're talking about, you know, ketchup on a staircase or,
Psycho stuff, like chocolate syrup in a shower.
And you'd never be able to tell. But this film, when it came out in color, it's really just so, it's so cool to even watch it today. I mean,
never gets old.
Today this film trumps 30%, I would say, of the films that are out there.
Absolutely.
Not taking anything away from, you know, what goes on, but for a film actually coming out from Hollywood is amazing in itself. I'm not saying they really endorsed it. I'm sure, you know, after it was released, it probably got taken down out of a few places.
One thing about Blood Feast, I mean, kind of like what you said, I mean, there never, ever was a film like Blood Feast. You know, I mean, I think the closest thing that probably came close to that was a movie called Horrors of the Black Museum. They kind of pushed the envelope. And of course, the Coffin Joe films from Brazil really pushed the violence envelope, and even Psycho
and the Satanist,
Peeping Tom and stuff like that. But man, Blood Feast just grabbed you by the fucking throat and did not let go.
Yep.
There are some campy acting elements within the film, I will give you that.
A lot of Herschel Gordon Lewis's films have that, of course.
Yeah. But the effects, I mean, they may seem a little outdated now, but you just gotta think, man, legs cut off.
Well, I mean, what are we talking about? This
mean,
was, of course, part of the trilogy, or the Blood trilogy.
The Blood trilogy, yeah, with
Wizards of Gore, the Gore Girls. It's just
2000 Maniacs, Color Me Blood Red. There's so many great scenes in Blood Feast. I mean, the one that probably sticks out the most is probably the tongue scene, you know, where that
one of the more well-known ones.
Yeah, where that chick gets her tongue ripped out. I mean, that was amazing, man. And it still looks great. I don't care what anyone says. No, it was ahead of its time. Herschel Gordon Lewis is the godfather of gore.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean,
you can ask anybody that one.
It's cool. He's even got Gore in his last name. I mean, it's so fitting. The guy just did so much, and we love him here at Descent into Horror Hell, and we hope you do too. Check out all his films. Blood Feast 2, I would like to mention also, is a great film.
I honestly, that one was kind of tough for me to get through. I think it was because it was made so many years later that, to me, it just kind of, it didn't have the shock effect. I mean, the story was pretty much the same as like his son.
Full out of Ramses, yeah.
That, you know, that took over this butcher shop. You know, the whole idea where he prays to the gods. You know, and the story was cool.
Ishtar.
But I still think it should have been. It wasn't as gory as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it had some cool parts to it, but it didn't.
The unrated version is the one to see. That has more of the red stuff.
Yeah, because, I mean, realistically, it was just, he was catering to some wedding.
Satan!
You know, he's catering to this wedding, and, you know, he ended up using,
Mrs.
like,
Lampley was a fucking
bitch.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, she hassled him the whole time in that film, and I was just waiting for her to die. It was one of those moments. But the movie was good, but
John Waters' cameo at the end, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, as a priest trying to molest kids. Yeah, I mean.
But Blood Feast 2, good film, but definitely, in my opinion, didn't really live up to the first one. Again, I'm sure.
That's the cool things about opinions. I mean, we don't even get along here sometimes on films, but, you know, that's what keeps it real.
Yep.
I love Blood Feast 2, personally. But yeah, Lan, let's move on. Fucking Herschel Gordon Lewis, Gore Forever.
Blood Feast, 1963. Check it out. Alright, welcome back. Now we're going to get into a little bit of a niche for some people. Classic cult films. And this is something that we feel is a category that's a little bit under the radar. Because it's something that may have just upset somebody or makes you kind of feel dirty watching it. You know, this is anything from silent era to, you know, anything I think up until 1990, maybe a little bit after that. You know, then you start getting into that secondary slasher market. But I'm going to start off with a film that I think really made people uneasy, Nekromantik. If I butcher this name, I'm absolutely terrible. Budergeit? Bucherite. You know, for being 1987, this film was awesome. I mean, if you would have saw this in 1987, saw this in a video store, and your parents are like, "Oh, it sounds like a nice romantic film."
Not!
Failing to realize that Necro's in it.
They'd be the coolest parents in the world, though. You know?
Of course, this isn't the first, you know, Loving the Dead movie, like Love Me Deadly.
Love Me Deadly. Amazing film.
That was one of the first films to do it, but it did not go to the extremes that Nekromantik did, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
You know, the story's real simple. Guy falls in love with this girl who's got this same passion for dead things. And he works as a crime cleanup crew guy who, you know, brings home hearts and brains, eyeballs, all sorts of things from crime scenes. And it's really cool in the intro when you actually see the car crash, and really good effects in it. I mean, the body alone that he brings home, so gross.
So believable.
It's so gross.
The way it's all slimy and shit, and it's like dripping.
Yeah. It's definitely a film that the first time you watch it, you're a little uneasy about it, but it kind of gets better with time. The soundtrack on this is so creepy, and it's very memorable. I mean, you really do know the song when you hear it.
How many bands have used that too? I mean,
Carpathian Forest did it.
Necrophagia.
Yeah. But I think the scene that
The sex scene.
Fuck Mad TV for that. God damn it. I need to reword that somehow.
The love scene. How about
There we go. I think in this film, the one scene that really got to people... I'm sorry, Father. I should laugh.
I wasn't laughing.
I know, I thought I heard the thing wrong. Okay, that's okay. Never mind. I think the one scene that really got people in this film was the love scene between them, when they're having sex with the corpse and with each other. Especially when she sucks the eyeball out of the corpse. And again, the slimy body and stuff, and you really see that because it's actually well orchestrated. Jorg did a great job in that because it's not straightforward sex. It's got that music in the background, and almost as kind of
sadistically romantic, basically.
Yeah, it makes. And I said it's one of those scenes that makes you feel like you want to take a shower afterwards.
Absolutely.
No
argument there.
And the thing I think what really pissed people off in this film was when he's watching the TV, and good old Charlie's, you know, watching in the background as you see that face. Is when they show the rabbit skinning.
Oh yeah.
That
pissed a lot of people off. Yeah. And PETA fucking.
And it wasn't even a part of the film itself. I mean, that was like a sub thing. He was just watching a documentary on TV. But I think you don't see little clips of it. Like, you see it from when he actually beats the rabbit over the head to skinning it. It's just that, adding that element to this film is just, that puts it over the top. And I was remember at the end they actually show that entire scene backwards. So they kind of bring that whole thing back, and it
was kind of a cool thing to do, they reverse it backwards.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I haven't really seen it since.
And it's just a really cool film. It's definitely a selective market, not something that, if you're really big into, like Stepfather or something like that, you're going to want to watch this. I mean, it's an extreme film at its best. You want to go?
Absolutely. For classic cult films, my pick for this section is the great Herc Harvey's Carnival of Souls. I love this film. Basically, kind of give you a little run-by on the story. The main character, Mary, she's a sole survivor of a recent car crash. A car crash that killed all her friends. I think they were dragging, you know.
They were drag racing with a guy, yep, and they
Yeah,
got kind
yeah.
of knocked off a bridge. And,
Yeah. And she, like I said, she's the only sole survivor of the crash, and you know, she kind of in a daze, basically, you know, and
that's the cover, I think, when you show her kind of in the mud. I mean, it's an iconic image when you got that.
Absolutely.
I know this movie is what they call public domain. I mean, it's been released.
Just like Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, it's been released by just about everybody.
Absolutely.
And you always get the different covers and stuff, but
this is yeah. There's actually the Criterion version is the one to get. I unfortunately don't have it yet. I plan on getting it, but I guess it talks a lot. It's a really the best version of this film to get. It shows a lot of, you know, the behind the scenes stuff, I believe. Yeah, I really want to get that one bad, but
for now,
I'm a cheap bastard, so I got the public domain one. I actually kind of dig this cover, though, man. It's kind of fucking killer, you know?
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, you know, Mary, she's haunted by this mysterious dead stranger.
It's creepy as hell.
Oh man, and this haunted dark carnival and whatnot, and yeah, this dude is creepy, man. Like when
he's got the dark circles under his eyes.
Yeah.
He's got it kind of reminded me of like White Zombie.
Yeah.
When, you know, Bela Lugosi's got these really bright white eyes, and it's just
definitely, man.
That's kind of what it really reminded me of. It's kind of a cool maybe throwback, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I got that too, and you know, he always appears where she'll least expect to find him. You know, he'll pop up anywhere, and it's just creepy as hell, man. And basically, yeah, she's haunted by him, and then she becomes detached from all those around her. She has like a friend that's interested in her that lives next to her, and he's trying to, you know, get in her pants, basically, in a nice way. You know, he takes her to a bar and shit, and but she's just so detached from everybody that, you know, she agrees with everything she says, and if you know women, they don't
kind of
ever
becomes
do that.
creepy in that own right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She really turns into this lost cause.
Absolutely.
And it kind of it makes you kind of feel sorry for her, but at the same time really kind of afraid of her.
Definitely sympathize with Mary for sure. I mean, she lost all her friends, and now she's alone in this world, and she's attached from everybody, and she's haunted by this creepy motherfucker, man. This guy is creepy. Kind of, I don't know if black metal was influenced by this movie, but at that last part in that film, you know, when she's in the carnival and whatnot, and you know, all those. The corpse paint, man. It's corpse paint.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much,
when I first saw that film, I'm like thinking, shit, did Fenner's and Nocturnal Culto of Dark Throne see this or something, man? Or Quorthon or Bathory?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, great imagery, great film. Amazingly creepy score in this film. She's actually an organist at a church, and you know, she's playing all this happy church music and shit. And then when the ghoul, I call him the ghoul because no one really knows what the hell the fuck his name is, but he not that ghoul, but you know, the music changes and it becomes more sinister. And this film influenced another creepy 80s horror film. Maybe if you're really a fan of this genre, you might know it. It's kind of underground film, but it's called Soul Survivor.
Not the remake. Not Soul Survivors.
No.
2000, whatever.
No, Soul Survivor is a great creepy-ass film that is somewhat based on Carnival of Souls. And also Carnival of Souls and Soul Survivor you could kind of trace to the modern-day Final Destination series. I almost said Final Fantasy. Final Destination series. I mean, it was a very influential film. Herc Harvey's Carnival of Souls. And the last thing I'll say about it, everybody in this film, he just found.
Yep.
It's amazing, and they can
Real
act.
actors, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
like he just, I don't know where the fuck this was filmed, but man, he just found everybody, and just kind of put them all together, and just said, act, and
it worked out.
and it
really
worked
well.
out fine, man. This is better than half the shit that comes out today, and it was from 63. A very, very influential film. Also on George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead from 68 as well.
The Split, yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, man, Herc Harvey's Carnival of Souls. If you've never seen it, check it out. It's fairly easy to find. You can find it on those big 50, 100 fucking big boxes.
Oh, it's on every one of them.
Yeah, it's public
You can
domain,
find
just
it
like
on
Dawn of the Dead,
Alpha Video,
Dementia
I know,
13,
website, yeah.
shit like that. But Nosferatu. But this is really a great film, man. Check it out.
All right, guys, welcome back. Now we're going to start another little thing like we did the tribute to a legend last time. We're going to be doing a upcoming director spotlight where we're going to kind of talk about the upcoming generation of horror films, splatter films, and this one definitely is up there as far as really good films. Of course, we're talking about Adam Ahlbrandt. Of course, a lot of you people watching this are going to know films like The Cemetery, Crossbearer, of course, right here. He's also got ones called Burnt House, Hunters. I think it should be coming out soon. I haven't really seen much on it, but man, I tell you, this guy has got...
He's got everything, man.
Some of the I don't know if you call him creepy, you call him gory, you can call him whatever the hell you want. But when you can get released by Massacre Video, you know you've done something right. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
I want to talk first about The Cemetery. This is kind of one of the newer ones that he put out. This is one, of course, with Natalie Jean in it, which is his go-to model, and we're okay with that. This kind of takes a trip into like a camping excursion with friends.
Yeah.
And there's something, it brings up this exorcism where they kind of start camping on this cemetery forbidden place, and the character Natalie, played by Natalie Jean, gets possessed, and she starts kind of killing off her friends, and she's in the special effects is good, the acting's really good in this film. And you got this one guy who's always walking around with a camera, and he keeps trying to film it, and really well-made film. Really, it's got good gore in it. I give the gore probably an 8 out of 10. It's
absolutely
well done.
Absolutely well done gore effects.
Good film. The other one is actually the first film I actually heard from this guy, Crossbearer. This seems to be one of the fan favorites. Guy wielding a hammer, going around beating the shit out of these partygoers that go into this abandoned building.
Sinners.
Yeah.
Sinners be damned.
Yeah, it's so different. I've never really seen this portrayed in that way. I mean, you got Toolbox Murders, but definitely not. You get this masked character, this killer, and it really adds a whole different aura. It puts this killer on a level of Jason or Freddy. It's different. The kills are really, I think, original. They're cool. They don't shy away from showing, or he doesn't at least. And
not at all.
This one, if you get this one, if you had the chance to get this one, this is the one, the special edition that they put on the, I think it was the crowdfunding or whatever it was, where he did, individualized artwork on here. I got the Hail Satan, with the goat head on there. This one's got the, the special features on it, the kind of behind the scenes. It's really cool. I guess this is really why we support underground horror. I mean, to find stuff like this stuff you're never going to find in Hollywood.
You're not going to find it at Walmart.
No, definitely not. I mean, pushes the limits is what horror can be.
True horror.
Adam's doing a real great job.
Absolutely.
really, I think everybody's looking forward to seeing what this guy does next.
Definitely an up and coming director.
Yeah, if you like the toe tag kind of stuff, definitely check out Adam's films. Got, like again, I said, Cemetery, Burnt House, Crossbearer, Hunters. Definitely check it out, man. You want to see the future of horror? You're looking at it.
O loving Lord, guide my hand, that I may purify this earthly paradise for your great return.
What's going on, horror fans? Hope you enjoyed Descent into Horror Hell. We had a lot of fun doing it. This is our second episode, so man, it means a lot to us that you tuned in and dropped dead once again. We have a lot more horror goodies and shit for you in the future, and we're gonna keep doing these, man, because we have a lot of fun doing them. And whether
to talk about.
yeah, and whether there's 500 of you, 50 of you, or even 5 of you, we're gonna keep cranking these out because we love our favorite genre and we love talking about it.
Absolutely.
And of course, like I always say, we're no experts, so we're not gonna act like we know everything. But I really hope you enjoyed it. Couple shout outs I'd like to say besides the positive feedback that we've received. Alex Murphy, Chars.
Also known as Ricky Shore.
Absolutely.
For all you out there in Wastebook land.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the support. I also would like to say Chars to Tom from Horror's Ball. Hope you dug the show. And everyone else that dug the show and all the feedback and everything, thank you very much. So, I am Skid Gore.
I'm Ghoul.
And we'll see you next time, man, on Descent into Horror Hell! Check it out.